Hello, welcome back to my channel Techie Blossom. This video is in English, but the same video I have created in Hindi as well, so you can check the link of that video in the description. Classes is the easiest and common concept in programming. You know that, I know that, yet I want to cover this in this channel. Why? Because every class has a specific role or case to solve. Otherwise, why the creators would create them? And in Kotlin, there are many types of classes which you can create. Okay, so we will see which type of class you can use for which use case and then how you can better utilize it to solve your purpose. So let's start. If you watch this video till the very end, you will definitely know the various types of classes that you can create in Kotlin, and then you will be able to make an intelligent decision. First is normal class. You can declare a normal class just by typing class and the class name. If you want some properties of that class as well, then you can just use the parenthesis and give ID and name to it or any other value which you would like. Now, if you want to initialize this class, you can simply write person and then initialize it by calling the class name with those two fields which were there. Now, when you want to print them, you will see that it does not print the values inside that class. It just prints some memory reference of that class. So for that, if you want to print those values, you have a specific type of class in Kotlin, which we call as a data class. So here I have created a separate class in data package this time, and then I have just added data keyword in front of that class. And now just change the import statement, try to print the statement, and this time it will be printing ID and the name of that object, right? Which means that data keyword adds toString method, equals method, hashcode method automatically to your data class. You need not write setters, getters as well, right? So with this, you just print hashcode and it prints your hashcode of that object. Now if you want to compare two objects, you can simply create another object and then write double equals to and use person equal to person1. It will obviously give you false because both the values are different in these two objects. So now I am just duplicating that object having the same values. With the help of double equal to, it is giving us true. But when I use triple equal to, it will give me false. Because at that time, with help of triple equal to, we are able to evaluate whether the two references are also equal or not. Now I can use copy also. And copy method is a very smart method. It actually creates another instance of that person object, and then if we compare, because there are two different instances, there are two different references, that's why it is giving me false here. Now after data class, we have a specific enum, which I think any language has that, and enums are there for finite set of values. You might be knowing that. So here in this specific case, we have two finite screens. One is home screen and another one is the login screen. Now if you want to provide a type of this screen, you can just put val type string and then it will show you compiler error where you have to add the type. It's a mandatory thing. And that's a little bit disadvantage as well, because every enum will have the same number of parameters. If I want to give orientation only to login screen, I cannot do that. I will have to default the home screen as well with some orientation value. So that is the disadvantage that I feel. Other than that, enums are great. Now let's see how you can use enums, right? Now you can also create functions in enums. Using this method isDefault is actually returning a boolean variable, comparing the type of enum with default. If it is true, it will return true, otherwise false. So let's see how this method can be called in our main classes. So here I am trying to print a home screen. And I will just use isDefault method here. So it should ideally be giving me true value because home screen is of default type. Now when I use login screen instead of home screen, it should give me false because login screen is of type modal, not default. So that's how you print. You can also use enums in when statements, which is, I think it's a comparison whether the screen type is home screen or the screen type is login screen. If the screen type is home screen, just print its name, prints its type, and that's it. It will automatically cast or compare the specific type of enum with home screen or login screen. Now, with login screen, because the sequence of enums, home screen is at 0 level, login screen is at 1 level. So ordinal value will be 1 here. So when you print this, you will see that when I am printing home screen, it's a home screen which is a default, right? Now when I print login screen, it will print it is a login screen which is a model at 1. This ordinal holds the index of declaration of this enum in that whole enum file, right? So you can also compare one enum with the other enum, and because these are almost a constant, it would always return you the same value. So in this case, our screen, because we have passed login screen, this should return false because this login screen is not equal to home screen. When I compare with login screen, it should be giving me true. If you want to print, now this is one advantage of enums compared to the next class that we will discuss. You can print all the enum values which are present in that enum by using this syntax: enum values dot join to string, and then you will basically enum values will be giving you all the enums that are present, like home screen and login screen, and then do whatever you want to do. You can run filter, you can run something else, anything on the stream you can run. Okay, now let's talk about sealed classes. Sealed classes is very beneficial. It's a good concept. Let's see what is the difference between enum and sealed class first of all. So declaration wise, they both are same, except that you don't define sealed classes inside sealed class. Okay, you define enums inside enum, but not this. So you have to extend the sealed class in your further classes, subclasses, and for us, again, home screen and login screen are the two subclasses which are extending the sealed class, and you can pass extra variables like dismissible only to some subclasses, not all. It's not a mandatory thing that if 2 parameters are there for the first subclass, the same 2 parameters will be mandatorily for the second subclass, like in the case of enum. Now you see this difference where sealed classes are very good option to you when you are creating a library, because you don't want the user of that library to use your library and extend your classes and break your library in some manner. So for that restriction, you can actually use sealed classes, because sealed classes subclass cannot be outside that package where the sealed class itself is defined. For instance, if I am moving home screen to my normal package instead of sealed package, it is giving me an error, which is a compile time error, because I cannot extend sealed class outside of this package. And that's the only reason sealed classes are very good alternative to normal classes when you want to do abstraction or inheritance in your libraries. Now, similarly that we created a screen string method in enum class, we are now creating another similar method. Of course, these are global methods, so I have to have a different name of it. We will again use the when statement. Sealed classes are automatically smart casted. So when I am comparing the screen, whether it is a home screen or not, it will automatically cast it to home screen. And just this is a drawback, that I want to print the name of the class and I have to do screen.java class.simple name, and you can see that the screen is a smart cast of sealed screen. The statement is exactly same, but this time you see that dismissible, I can print dismissible, right? Only for login screen, because it is possible. As you can see, when I print, it is printing perfectly and it's very nice. So this is about sealed class. Now this video is over, but you can see that 2-3 minutes are still left in the video. So why? Because there is a extra type of class which is actually not a class, but it's a very good keyword, which we call is object keyword. So if you want to watch this video further and to know what type of usefulness this object keyword gives you in Kotlin, then you should watch this video further. So let's quickly talk about object. Objects in Kotlin are similar to anonymous objects in Java. So suppose you want to perform something, and in JavaScript as well, you just create an object and get a get object out of it. This declaration where you directly use object is equal to having a class, declaring it, defining it, and initializing it together in one syntax. So here I have created an object where square is sum into sum, cube is sum into sum into sum, and this whole return I will get in the powers. So when I get it in powers, I can just use a sum. I can add square and cube and get the total out of it. Now, there is another usage of this object. Singleton classes, you might be knowing that. So if you want to create singleton classes in Kotlin, you just have to declare a normal class, replace the class keyword with object. And that's what we have done here. We have a singleton class, which is named by singleton math. And this class has a static method, which is inherently static. And the method is complex math. Variable is also a constant static variable. And we are printing it calling the singleton method, Pratik. That's it. We can call the method directly with the name of class and not the instance of class. So it's exactly like the singleton. It will only have one instance throughout lifetime. Apart from this, you can also have a static block in Kotlin like you had in Java. For that, you just have to add companion object inside a class, and whatever functionality we have written in that static object or object, just copy that here. Use instead of singleton math, use singleton class. The behavior is exactly same. It just creates a singleton block, which can be again called with the class name itself, not the object. So this is the start of a series, you can say, because this is one of that video where I want to share some basic information about Kotlin, about some of the data types, some of the basic things, basic syntactical things which you should know before starting to develop anything in Kotlin. So this is that one video. Later on, you might find some more videos on this. So stay tuned and like this video if you have liked this. Share this video across your circle and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.